Trophies and achievements in video games, sometimes it's fun to do, sometimes it's not, in many cases it's kind of fun to do, but when you look at it, you say, I lost this trophy, and then you see that for that you have to play the whole game again, because of a little item that you forgot to pick up, or because of a simple thing that you forgot to do, and that trophy is losable, and today we are going to talk about that, about the trophies that you can lose, or achievements that you can lose. That you are forced to do everything again, my friend, it's suffering, right? So let's start the video. Don't forget to leave that like, subscribe to the channel, and let's go. South Park Stick of Truth. This one is very complicated, because it's a trophy that if you lose in 5 minutes and you don't know that you lost it, you need to play the whole game again. Why? In South Park Stick of Truth you have friends, you can add friends to the game's social networks, and there are a total of 121 friends. However, one of the friends, Clyde, you can make friends with him right at the beginning of the game. You have to make friends with him literally at the beginning. He's basically the second NPC you're going to talk about in the game. If you don't talk to him as the second NPC, you go straight there to talk to Cartman, for example, you've already lost this trophy. So what's the problem with this? You need to have 120 friends in the game for you to complete the trophy. They're like collectible friends. And if you don't talk to Clyde at the beginning of the game, he's a character that after he gets stressed out with you, he deletes you from the list of friends, but he still counts you as a friend in the game. So you need to talk to him right at the beginning, because otherwise he'll be mad at you, which is part of the story, and he'll delete you from his friends, and then you can't be his friend again. And if by any chance you lost this, I'm sorry to say, because you have to do the whole game again, because Clyde is right there at the beginning, and you need 120 to complete, not just him. So you have to start over, talk to him and reset the game until you complete the 120 friends. So the thing is that if you mess up at the beginning, you're already there, you lost, you have to do everything again and look for all the collectible friends again. And there are friends that you have to do quests and do a lot of things for you to get. It's not easy, so you can lose like that. It's just very easy if you don't take long. And the game doesn't give you a clue that you were his friend or not. You lose him as a friend and you can't check anywhere to see if you did it or not, because I don't know. Sometimes you're in the middle of the game and you say, so I'll go back to the beginning, and then you don't know, and then in the end you weren't his friend and you have to play everything again. We have the Conversionist trophy from Assassin's Creed 1. This trophy requires you to talk to Lucy, a character from the game, every time. That is, in several moments of the game you have to talk to her. And there are several lines of dialogue. There are dialogues that you can't just talk to once. You need to talk to her until you run out of dialogue options. And there are like 6 times that you have to talk to her. And you can sometimes not make all the dialogues by accident. So the game doesn't show you if you're doing it right or wrong, if you're progressing or not in the conversation with her. And if you leave a line of dialogue sometimes without talking to her, you can lose this trophy. Simply because you didn't talk to this NPC. And as it is a business that you need to do during the entire game. This you will need to do during the entire game, talk to her again if you lose. Which is very annoying. It's a trophy for you to talk to the NPC. I think this guy had no idea about the trophy here. But it's one of those trophies that the pingo of things you do wrong is gone and the game doesn't give you much information about it. We have the character of Tales of Symphonia, which is zealous and he has a series of things he needs to do, which is to get all the titles of this character. So there are several specific things within the character itself which is for you to get the titles, do some things in battle, for example find some recipes with him. Anyway, but one of these is simply called. You need to talk to all the women. With Zealous, within the game there are some there that have one more thing for you to do, but there are points in the game that you can't go back, so you kind of get lost. You don't know if you actually talk to all of them and you need to talk to the last one to know if you did everything right. Any little mistake, any little character you left behind is enough for you to lose this trophy and get tense because it's JRPG, it's long game, so don't want to keep repeating just to talk to the character for you to unlock the trophy. It's stressful. Cyberpunk 2077 has a trophy called the Devil, which is a trophy that if you don't have a save or a save close to the end of the game, you will have to go back to the next save, because this happens in a mission before the end of the game, the penultimate mission of the game, and you need to save a character, which is Takamura, which is a very cool character in the game. A lot of people didn't even know that. But instead of following the path that the quest is sending you, you will have to make a different path to find Takamura and help him. If you ignore this, you won't get this trophy, because you didn't help him, so it's a trophy that doesn't warn you at any time in the game. It doesn't give you the secondary of this mission. If you didn't explore enough, if you didn't do the opposite path that the game is sending you, you will lose this, and then you will have to go back if you have a save. If not, my friend, you will have to play a good piece of the game again. At least Cyberpunk lets you do multiple save slots. Archivist of Dying Light 2, and this was the trophy that when I looked at it like that, I usually get to the middle of the game to be able to read the list of trophies, because sometimes I read the list of trophies at the beginning of the game and I don't know what some things are. I get lost. But when you get to the middle of the game and you're going to take a look at the list, you start to understand what it is for you to do some things. And then I found out about the Archivist, which when I saw it, I said, okay, I'm never going to platinum this game again, I'm going to play it here again. Because I'm not going to go back to the game all over again just because of this crap, right? You have the memory of the collectibles of the game. There are 117, but some of them are lost, and one of them is in the prologue, just 5 minutes of the game. If by chance you lost this collectible in the first moments of the game, you're done, you can't go back to get it, you need to restart the whole game again. And it's no use, because you can't do the prologue in the new game, so you have to start a game from scratch and collect 117 again. There were some other achievements in this game that are very appealing, but the Archivist is a thing that if you lose, my friend, you will probably ruin your platinum. You will lose a lot of time to run after this thing. We have here the achievement called Starfish is Born, from High on Life. This game from the creators, Rick and Morty, is very funny. We brought a review here on the channel, a very nice game. It has this trophy that you have to transform an NPC in a star, in a famous person. He's like a person who's on the street and you can buy a drum for him. He's getting famous because of that. It's pretty funny. And the trophy there means that you're going to make him so famous that you're going to see him on TV. When you see him on TV, it's because he's famous and the trophy will appear. The big problem with this trophy is that it's kind of buggy and you need to do it very calmly, so you have to defeat the main bosses of the game and do the quest step by step. And the game doesn't tell you at any time, so you do a few things in the game and then you go and buy the drum for this character. Then you defeat a few characters and go to him to see. Then you go and defeat another character and come back to see. Then you go and defeat the main boss and come back there. So you have to do it little by little as you progress in the game. Depending on whether you give him the drum, the musical instrument, very early, this can bug the trophy and it won't advance. If you go too far ahead it won't work either, so it's a trophy you lose because it's kind of buggy. And then you have to do everything because it's only at the end of the game that he'll be famous, so you have to play the whole game again, otherwise it's already. And for today we have our dear Elden Ring, which has a trophy that if you lose, it's a unique thing. If you lose, you have to play up to almost half of the game again. Although Elden Ring has a very good replay factor, which is not so suffering depending on the game, still, it's the only trophy that prevented me from not getting all the Elden Ring achievements in the first game. Okay, you have the finals there, but you can make a little scheme there that you can get all the finals in the first. You play normally, but there is an armor tier called Boat of Grand Sax that you get there in the city of the game. However, if you don't get it in the city of the game, later on, this city will change and you will lose a lot of the accesses you had to it, including the Boat of Grand Sax. So this armor tier there, which is pretty cool, it's very losable, and you will need to replay and get to the city all over again, or go to the corridor there and get this armor tier to win the trophy of all the. Because it's a trophy that you lose if you give it easy there. And my dear ones, this is the video. I hope you liked it. A big kiss, a big hug, a kiss on the butt. See you next time and bye.